Should the 49ers sign Dwayne Haskins?
No.
No, absolutely not. Can you tell the people in the
he's
kind
not a
people?
Professional. He's not a professional. And, I was going back. And so one thing that's interesting, okay, right? The Giants didn't take Dwayne Haskins. Dave Gettleman's first comments when they picked Daniel Jones was, I saw him in the Senior Bowl, and this was a professional quarterback. He said it in his little Bostonian mafia boss accent. This is a professional quarterback. That's what he said. This is a professional quarterback.
That was good.
So now when you see him say this is a professional quarterback, when you see Dwayne Haskins, you see his total lack of professionalism with his time in the NFL. You see him given chances that he throws away by risking his team with COVID and then going and playing awfully, and just questions about his work ethic that people were putting out his rookie year. Like, first, he's the last guy in, first guy out type stuff was stuff being reported in his rookie year. When you see stuff like that, maybe Dave Gettleman was saying Daniel Jones is a professional and Dwayne Haskins isn't. I don't know. But that's
to me, when people break down quarterbacks on Twitter, no one talks about this stuff. But this is the stuff that makes or breaks quarterbacks in the NFL. They're all talented. If you're drafted in the first round, you got a cannon. This is the stuff. And it's like, also another thing. If a guy like this, Dwayne Haskins, who's so unprofessional and does this kind of stuff in his off time, could put up 50 touchdowns at Ohio State, doesn't that kind of put Ohio State passing statistics in perspective? I mean, anyone could do it. Any athlete could do it there.
Right. And the worst one, someone brought up the selfies. The worst one was his first win as a rookie when he didn't come in for victory formation because he was busy taking a selfie with a fan. Like, the thing is, it's hard. I get it. You're talking about someone my age or a tad 1 year older than me having to all of a sudden just stop being a kid and be an adult and a professional. And it's impossible to do. Like, I couldn't just walk into the NFL locker room and just stop being a kid.
You do a lot better than Dwayne Haskins. Let's just stop being modest, dude. Are you kidding? This guy, I guarantee you wouldn't end up in the strip club with the maskless. You would at least have a mask on. You would be following the proper protocols.
Of course. Yeah. Right. But not just for Dwayne Haskins, but for any quarterback, it's hard. But unfortunately, that's the reality of Dwayne Haskins' job. And it's his job requirement, and he did not meet the requirement. I think that the 49ers should not touch him, because the one thing that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have always brought in, it's smart, professional, hardworking, blue-collar, gritty type players. And that's why the Dante Pettis pick, to my eye, like, Dante Pettis is really smart. He must be hardworking and all of that, but he never struck me as a blue-collar football grinder. I think you were the one that really was asking that question. And so that's where I think he's the only pick that hasn't made sense from that standpoint. But for the most part, like, look at Fred Warner. Like, how many guys at 23 years old are as professional, as well-spoken, as smart, as study as much as Fred Warner? Not many in the NFL, and those are the kind of guys they've always drafted. Those are the kind of players they like, and that's why Dwayne Haskins is a big no-no.
It's interesting you mentioned the blue-collar hard worker. That's Jimmy, not a rich kid growing up. You know who it isn't? Josh Rosen. And it's kind of interesting that he's on the team, because it's really what they're not looking for, and I think the rest of the league's also like, dude, you don't fit. So I do not think Rosen's not going to be.
If I'm the rest of the league, I'm intrigued, because if there's one offense in the modern NFL that Josh Rosen's skill set can work in, it's this one. And Josh Rosen is still talented, and he's still a very smart guy, and he does do some. He did have a lot of talent when he came out.
Really throw. I mean, I think his arm is every bit as good as Jared Goff's.
Oh, I think he's just a better thrower than Goff. I think he's really good thrower.
Of a thrower. Yeah. I mean, seriously.
And better mover in the pocket.
Explain to me what it is. I mean, it's not this that he's Jewish. It's not that. I don't think they care. He's not even that Jewish. He's
I remember when he got cut. So what I remember reading, like, I really enjoy reading. So my passion before used to be books. Now it's just reading random sports articles. Yes. I remember reading just a random report and theory that he used to talk about when he was in Arizona about going back to UCLA, getting his degree in like astrophysics and all of that. And, those types of things are cool, right?
Andrew Luck say stuff like that. He was going to go back to Stanford and get his degree in computer science or whatever.
But I think the delivery is different from Andrew Luck going, hey, I wanna really work on my game. Ha ha ha. I have my Motorola cell phone. And then you have Josh Rosen, who's a little more he speaks differently. He speaks a little more confident. He doesn't speak like
A football
someone
player.
right. He speaks a bit more convicted. He asks questions that Andrew Luck feels more like okay, I'll do if you ask me to do it, I'll do it kind of thing. So it's just a little bit where Josh Rosen's different from the normal.
So it's like he has Aaron Rodgers' personality without Aaron Rodgers' game.
Right.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Right. And then I just think his game isn't a fit for the modern NFL unless he's playing in this offense because he struggles to move and he's not comfortable moving and stuff. He's a in platform pocket moving quarterback. And this is the only offense that can have him do that. And
if you go back and watch him or look at what he did at UCLA, I watched a lot of him at UCLA because I watched that school.
He's impressive.
Yeah. I mean, he had the arm there too. But again, like he was under pressure a lot. He didn't deal with pressure very well. He didn't complete a high percentage of his passes.
He got beat to a pulp in UCLA.
He really got beat up at UCLA. He didn't have a great college career. It's never like he was great and his game didn't translate. He was always kind of hype. He was the top dude coming out of high school and he wanted to go to Stanford. David Shaw said, no, we're pulling our contract with our scholarship offer, which is just amazing. I mean, that was the red flag to start with. I don't know what he could have possibly done on the recruiting trip. I mean, what did he do? Anyway, it's because he's Jewish.
He seems way too smart and
what did you do?
And well-spoken to pull a Dwayne Haskins. So he must have said something that rubbed David Shaw the wrong way. Yeah. Maybe he doesn't realize he's saying something that will rub someone the wrong way while he says it. I don't know.
He must be the ultimate diva know-it-all is what I'm gathering. He just must think that he's the God's gift of football. And coach is like, dude, you're going to have to become much more coachable.